Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening is the one and only Albert and Big Stevie. Evening, gentlemen.
How you doing, guys?
I'm brand new. Welcome to the big station, serving the nation. Yes, indeed, it's anarchy on a Thursday night. Team has broke up. Now we've got a stand-in Albert for all Southside. Magic.
How are you, Albert? Tried out yet?
I'm tired, mate. That's what I'm tired. I have dried out. Aye.
Oh, you're
He's been dragging.
You're tired.
He's been dragging me over Glasgow this week. I've been everywhere.
And you're very ratty when you're tired, mate. Eh?
I'm very tired when I'm tired. I usually snore, mate. So if you hear a snoring noise, you know it's happening.
Listen, Stevie, we're quick to criticise the team. It doesn't matter who they play, but you've got to admit, a home match against Kilmarnock, and you put in that level of performance, you've got to be pleased in isolation, Stevie.
Aye. It's well overdue, wasn't it? We need someday. You know, we got it right. We ran them ragged, and then the second half, we just came out up to gears and just absolutely done them, you know. And by the way, there was some nice football played last night. I know the conditions, but there was some good soccer played last night. Believe me, some nice one-touch stuff, and then a few nice finishes by the troops. I was well pleased.
So we started the game reasonably brightly. Albert Cherny, maybe at the start of the game, our most dangerous player. He set up Egerman, and I'll put it this way: he took it early, but he's got to hit the target. Yeah, I'm not saying he's got to score, because his goal is there to save the ball, but you've got to hit the target, yeah?
Aye. It came in quick, and it's he's still got to hit the target, but I like his instincts to shoot. I mean, when normal centre-forward play with Rangers for the last season and a bit is stop the ball, turn round twice, back heel it, play a 1-2 off somebody, and then try and shoot. You know what I mean? So the ball came to him short. Should have hit the target. No doubt about that. But anyway, he shot. That's as far as I'm concerned. He done the right thing.
And that was early on. We're dominating possession. And then he had another effort coming in for the different side where he takes it, Stevie, and he hits it with his right foot and tries to colour it on the top corner. Good effort, unlucky.
Aye. Yep. Listen, he's got a vision, man, hasn't he? He's definitely got a vision. He knows what he's doing, you know, and I like that because it's different. It's just total rawness and different. And for me, I'm not wanting to go too forward or whatever, but he's definitely got a vision, and no doubt you'll come to his wee flick with a heel, but absolutely outstanding. The young boys, he knows what he's doing. It's just a freshness for me. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm. So we've started the game and we've started well, and you're getting, I don't know if frustrated is the right word, but you're getting concerned that we're going to run out of steam. Third game in 6 days, pretty much the same players all the time, you know, sort of the odd change and different players coming in, but you're thinking to yourself, and then at the right time, we get the goal, but before that, there's a challenge on young Raskin, mate, and listen, minimum a yellow for me, and he left one on him, in my opinion, Albert. You know, and when you're up in the air, it could be judged as serious foul play, mate.
It's a card all day long, as far as I'm concerned, mate. There's no way he's trying to play the ball. There's no way there's no way he can get to the ball, let alone play the ball. It's a red card all day long, mate. You know when they fall down and pretend to be injured after the day, and it's ridiculous, mate. But it's a clowny referee again. That Walsh is just an incompetent clown, man. Really, honestly. But aye, same as you, mate. Minimum yellow card, minimum red card for me, mate.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I don't know if you catch that event, that incident, Stevie.
Aye. Well, when I seen it at first, you're just thinking a bad clash of heads. But see, when you're seeing it on the telly and you're rewinding it and watching it again, mile late, I could swear to words what Albert's saying. I really could. But first seeing it, you're just thinking, oh, he's been late, it's an accident. But no, there's more to that than that. He stuck one on him. He really did. He was a mile late, and Albert's already said Walsh is an absolute idiot, isn't he?
Aye. Well, it's a strange referee. That's me being polite. So, after that incident, he gets a goal with the throw in. Ball gets to Hadji, and he sees Tav at the back post, plays a magnificent ball in. Magnificent. And Tav comes in at the back post, scores a great goal. Stevie.
Unbelievable. We've talked about it, haven't we? About Hadji's vision as a player, that splitting pass. And once again, what a ball in. Pinpoint. Tav's done well to go on to the end of it and just stick it right in there. And you've got to say, if it wasn't for Hadji's ball, unbelievable. Well done. That's all I can say. Absolutely fantastic. Great cross, great finish.
Albert.
Oh, Hadji's ball was class. Just class, mate. There's no doubt about that. I'm saying he's finished. I'm saying that the other week. He's finished. If he keeps that up, he's not finished. But vintage Tav at the back post. But I'll be honest with you, when I seen it was Tav that scored, I was like, oh, here we go. Now we're back to Tav scoring the goals and getting us out of hole again. But the way it panned out, didn't pan out that way. So, aye, happy, mate.
Aye, and then obviously with good play with Cherney, and then the flick, Stevie, that you want to talk about, Ingerman. And if he catches that, just maybe he doesn't catch it as well, and it comes off just inside his heel. It could go anywhere into the goal. It was a great effort, a great bit of entertainment.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. There's nobody thought the young boy was going to do that flick. It was fresh. And I said it earlier on. He's got a wee vision, and do you know what I like about him? He's got bought. He'll try anything. Young boy's going to try anything. He's run across that and he's trying to flick that in the back heel. That's different class. Under the pressure, the Rangers players are under the now, and he's trying that. It shows you something about the young boy, But I've got to say, I think when I looked at his YouTube videos and when we were signing him, and I said to Jamie, this boy's a bit of a player, but he had to get his fitness up, and he's starting to get that bit sharper now. He's starting to get his match fitness, match sharpness, and he's starting to look the part now. But his vision and his bottle to try these things, excellent, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, here, Stevie. And then with another chance, a great ball in with Raskin. I'll come to Raskin at the end of the report, but Raskin plays a ball in, picks out Danilo, who rises well, makes McCrory make a decent save. Maybe just too straight with the heady, but still Albert, he hit the target, yeah.
That's it, mate. Great ball in with Raskin. See, this is the difference of what we're getting last night, what we're moving getting all season. The crosses are finding their mark. They're quality crosses. Tav's, Hadji's cross and wee Raskin's cross, and we'll come on to later ones in the game. But quality crosses, mate, they make the difference. And the centre forwards are actually moving into the right positions now at the right time. As you say, you got the ball on the target, and that's all you can ask for apart from putting it in the net, obviously. And if I think if you put it any side of him or bounced it in, it's a goal. But anyway, it hit the target, good cross, hits the target.
Aye,
that in itself is pleasing me, mate. I know it's not much to be pleased about, but it's pleasing me because we've not been doing it all season.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing I know is maybe he did it too well. If he'd have scuffed it, could have went in the fourth corner. There's that bit of luck comes into it all where it's just, fractions. And sometimes when you don't catch it right, it ends up in the net, bizarrely.
But it's a greasy night, you know what I mean? He's done the right thing. It's bouncing down. He's doing the right thing. Football intelligence, whereas big Cyril would have probably tried to hit the top corner and put it over the bar.
We'll come to Big Cyril in a minute, mate.
I know you will.
Aye, so the first half, fine performance by the team. Could have scored more goals. Hadji's shining, Cherny playing well, Igaman and Danilo dangerous. Young Yefty showing a lot of energy. Tav doing okay. The two centre backs not being too involved, getting the ball quicker, So, pleasing, but maybe not enough goals. Well, the second half started, Stevie, and the floodgates opened.
Excellent. Aye. Can I just say, when we're talking about the Danilo, he should have scored that. Should have been near a keeper. You're right. He did it too square right at the keeper. It should have been flicked. One of the sides. It should have been a goal. But anyway, second half starts. We come out the traps. The teddy bear should come out the traps. And we got a lovely goal. A little bit out.
So, listen, we had a miss before that. I mean, great play with Cherny. And he puts it in for Danilo on a plate, he misses, and then for the clearance, the ball gets recycled all there. And he gets his goal, didn't he?
Aye. It's a good. There was a Hadji put it in.
Aye.
Hadji puts it in again along the ground this time, picks him out lovely. No hesitation, no thought, no nothing, just swept the ball in the net. And you go, it seems that easy now, but see when you're no scoring goals as a forward, it's every week, every game it goes by and you're no scoring, it gets more and more difficult. But then you score a goal like that and it all becomes easy and you go, what was difficult with that? But it was a lovely move, mate, as well. It was a lovely move, that goal.
And good again, for Danilo. Good for Danilo.
Aye, definitely, mate, definitely. The boy was desperate for a goal, desperate. And he missed a couple.
3 goals in a row set up for Hadji. The two last night, the first 2 last night, and obviously the first one on Sunday.
Aye.
So 3 goals in a row set up by Hadji. And then it gets better. Well, they try to clear the ball. The Bob Rex gets played into Ingerman. Albeit without a lot of backlift, he scalps it, doesn't he? And puts it right in the bottom corner.
Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. If you watched I know you won that thing. Were you at the game last night, Stevie?
Aye.
Did you see the warm-up, the shooting warm-up before the game started? They've changed that. And I'm telling you right now, it's that in itself has made a huge difference, by the way. They're not just online and not have a shot for 18, 20 yards out and the ball flying out of the bar and by the post and the keeper say, now they're actually running into the box to put the ball away. This wee routine. And I was watching it for a wee while and I'm saying to myself, that's clever, by the way. That's really clever. And then that goal that boy scored, that was just something similar as striking the ball. But he's already warmed up properly for a shot before the game started, and he hit that sweet as a nut, mate. Sweet as a nut, placed it right in that bottom left-hand corner, or right at the keeper's left.
Do you think he's going to be in watching the warm-up when there's pies to be had?
There's telly's doing there, mate.
Sorry, Stephen.
I'll tell you, but by the way, when we're on the subject, see that pie stall I go to, we're just down for Berrima. They had sauce. I had to walk away along the other end of the Coatland Road to get sauce. I wasn't happy with that at all, but anyway.
You should let us know when they go that brought up
superb. The wee man's finish was absolutely superb. You've got to say, see when you're watching the game again, listen to the crowd. As soon as the ball breaks to him, he touches it out to the left as if he's going to have a crack. And you hear the fans shout, shoot. And then he just takes another touch. But he's still got a lot to do. And by the way, see the power he got behind that ball. I've got to say, it was pinpoint, right in at the post. And Bob's your uncle. Cracking shot, cracking goal.
Yes, 3-0 up. Game's easy. You've took the legs out of the other team. Their spirits went, which a third goal always does in football most of the time. Maybe you get the odd 1 in 500 when somebody fights back, albeit, but traditionally the third goal just sucks the energy out of teams, and we started playing well, didn't we?
Proved the point last night. That's what happened. Exactly happened last night. Their heart just went right out it. Players need to realise that themselves. There's no point of, we need to battle for 90 minutes. You don't need to battle for 90 minutes if you finish them off in 60. The last half hour's enjoyable then, as we proved. Can stroke the ball about. We all make runs and wee flicks and tricks and entertain the crowd. And it was a dour, miserable Wednesday night at Ibrox. It was a really enjoyable experience, I'll tell you. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. So the fourth goal, obviously we make substitutions, and the boys get a great reception, which is good to see, Steve. Yeah.
It was the three of them went half together, and they were kind of laughing with each other, It was quite good. They were happy with their performance, They were happy. They all got a goal each, so it was good when they're all going off the park, Tav, Cherny and Danilo, wasn't it? They were all going off the park together. It was quite good. And they were all laughing and that. Aye.
Well, but I've missed a goal. I've not got the fourth goal yet. Sorry, it was after the fourth goal they were up. So,
We do the punch goal.
I've missed a goal.
It's because we've scored more than one goal. We're all confused
I've
now.
missed a goal. So young Raskin picks the ball up, and I've got to say, for me, it was a man of the match performance. In any other game, Hadji gets it, but Raskin was outstanding last night. He does a bit of twinkle toes in the box, leaves it to Cherny, and he finishes it. And his numbers are becoming superb as well, Cherny, whether you like it or not. So that was another excellent goal, Albert.
Oh, aye, definitely, mate. The finish was sublime, mate. Just swept it through the guy's legs. But we were asking, he threw there and he danced by about 2 or 3 players, and you're saying to yourself, we know what's happening. You're not going to get your shot away. Well, he didn't, but he managed to wriggle it to Cherny, who just swept it away. Superb goal, mate. Absolutely superb. It was just a relief to watch it again. People that is actually doing the right thing for a change.
Another excellent goal, Stevie.
Yep. What they say. I don't know what the wee man's doing, but just keep doing it, because Raskin has just came from nowhere, and it's nearly every game now he's getting man of the match.
The last month, mate, he's been an outstanding player, mate.
I don't know what he's doing different, but just keep doing it, because he's looking a far different player, man. He's looking like the player we thought we were going to get, in the first place. As long as he stays away, I know he's had injuries and whatever, but he's just, the last so many games, he's been absolutely outstanding, man. He's been running the show.
And then, surprise, surprise, Albert, he takes the 3 of them off. We were laughing as we went off. Would you believe that?
We took a full forward liner. A full forward line scored last night, and they took them off. You're saying, "Oh no, what are you doing now?" But I can see his point. But anyway, never really changed much, which was really interesting, by the way, because normally 3 subs coming on usually disrupts the game, but it didn't last night. It did not. So,
and then we get a 5th goal, which I'll talk about the goal. We what the ball down the left. Jeffy shows willing again, goes to the byline, puts a good ball in, in that corridor of uncertainty where it's hard for the goal to come, and the defenders are turning, and Dessers with a good finish to make it 5-0. And why did it take so long on VAR? It was obviously. Why was it given offside?
I'll tell you why it was given. See that guy that's got the big scar on his napper, that linesman? I don't know his name, but it looks as if he's had some sort of surgery or whatever on his head. I'm telling you right now, he's a Tim. He's an absolute Tim. He did that, and he never seen any offside in his life. The way you see it. And that's the same guy, I'm sure, it gave them the offside goal at Hampden to win the League Cup. Remember, there were 2 of them offside.
Mm-hmm.
He never seen it. It's the same guy, and he done it at Livingston with us and all. And I keep saying to Jamie, what did I tell you about him? Jamie was laughing at me one night. I went bananas. And Jamie was laughing at me. And I said, that's the same guy, done that, and that. And then he done it, like the flag went up. Tell me what the flag went up for, please. Tell me.
Don't know, because it was nobody offside. Nobody even near. Yeah.
No.
And why did it take so long?
If there's any bells out there, listen to what I'm saying. Watch it. This boy with a scar, I can't mind his name. Boys get the scar. Just watch the next game you go to. Watch the decisions he gives against Rangers. Watch it. See when Rangers get in decent, he'll put his flag up, hoping that something gets pulled back and somebody sees something else that's going on. Just watch it all the time.
That's the
So,
reason, mate. You've hit it the nail on the head. That's the
we
reason, mate.
We get the goal for Dessers. We get the goal for Dessers, which I don't know if it was a cheer or shock or not, because it was a good thing. So we gets the fifth goal, and lo and behold, there's meant to come, and I'm thinking here, this could be double figures. I don't know if that crossed your mind, Albert, because we'd scored so quickly.
Say that again, mate. I missed that.
Yeah, when we gets the fifth, and then we gets the sixth, I'm thinking, God, we're dead. We're playing well. I'm thinking we could go and get 7, 8, or 9 here.
Definitely, but it never works that way. But definitely, mate. If Big Dessers gets his goal, do you notice the way he's two finishes? Big Desser, first time finishes, better.
Aye.
No thinking, mate. Just put the ball in the net.
And the move for the sixth goal, mate, yeah. Tav, I think it was Dow that played it down to Tav. Tav cuts it back, and the move was excellent.
What he does is he feign to move forward, then stand still, and they all run away. Defenders will run away for you to get into the box to stop the cross for Tav, and Tav just cuts it back, picks him out beautifully, because he's made space for players to pick him out. No, I mean this time it was Tav, but if he finds space, I used to keep saying about him at Aguero at Man City when he's Man City. He's a master at it. When you're saying, how we're no coaching that, I just don't know. But that's what he did. He just stands there. Sometimes you don't need to keep moving and running to the back. No, running towards the goal. Just stand still, and the defenders will all run away. The space opens up for you. But anyway, it was a superb ball by Tav and a cracking goal, because he just first time, mate, no hesitation, bang, goal.
Yes. So 6-0. I think it was still about 15 minutes to go. So you're thinking there's 20 minutes to go here. We could get more goals. Yeah, we had opportunities. We knocked it about well. Could have scored more, never, but it didn't matter. The game petered out at 6-0. Stevie, I'll repeat that, 6-0. I don't think anybody predicted that, mate.
No, nobody would have predicted that. Not the way we've been playing. We've been winning, and it's 1-0, 2-1, or whatever the script may be. We've not really put teams away. So it was good to do that, and it'll take a bit of the pressure off them a wee bit, off the players a wee bit, and just the manager as well. And hopefully we can build on it. Hopefully we really can, because I'm starting to see wee glimmers of Raskin coming through and playing well. Barron's magic, Gifty's getting a wee bit better. Igaman, he's come on a bit. So you're seeing things starting to take place. It's far for the finish started going. I'm far from still happy with what we're watching at times, but you've got to give them a bit of credit. They haven't done the business last night. 6-0. As you said, it could have been 7 or 8. And I've got to say, Danilo could have easily had a hat trick, surely.
Listen, Albert, as I say, we're quick to criticise. And we're a strange bunch, because that's 11 goals in 6 days we've scored, and we're saying we're not scoring enough goals. But the criticism has been in the league. We've not been scoring enough goals. So, but it's still 11 goals in 6 days, mate. The only team in Scotland to play 3 games in 6 days. You can't help the way that supercomputer comes out, mate.
Oh, it's a bugger in that computer. It really is. It's something's broken, that thing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe no. It's broke. It's broke for us, but it doesn't seem to break for anybody else. One of the things, did you notice as well? The starting forward line all scored, and all were centre forwards scored last night. All of them.
Sorry, Albert, can I correct you?
Go for it.
It does for Dundee. Mind they never get their email.
Oh, yeah. The phantom email that disappeared.
Aye. We never get their email. Mind they were out to do a vote. They put their vote in, and they took their vote back. No, we never got
it. Stevie, people forget. That's the dearest email in the history of emails. That was a £40 million email. That got them the league and into the Champions League. So that's a £40 million email.
The knock-on effect, mate. I know. Terrible shape.
So we get the 6-0. We've scored 11 goals in 6 days. We've took 6 points after coming back from Europe. They're the stats. Yeah, the United game was disappointing. I accept that. I get that, Albert. I understand fully. But last night in isolation, some excellent performances. I'm going to go out there and give young Raskin man in a match. I don't know how you've seen it, Albert. I thought he was absolutely superb.
I think you could have gave it to the front four and the Raskin, young Jefty as well. There's a few of them, but Raskin, I Hadji. Any of the front line plus Hadji and Raskin. But I would get to Raskin. I would. His work rate is tremendous, mate. His reading of the game's getting better and better and better. And he's a wee terrier. He really is a wee terrier. But he's no mental now. He doesn't do any rash things. It's so calculated now. Aye, superb wee player. What an engine, I know. Great engine.
Stevie?
Oh, Raskin. All day long, man of the match. By a mile. Raskin was excellent. He's the player now. He's what I thought we were getting in the first place. That's what we're starting to see. He really is. He's covering every blade of grass. His passing's got a bit better. He's dig. He's no shy, and he's just fighting for everything and winning everything. And his engine's just gone and gone and gone. And I like to see him and wee Barney together. They two. I like the fight in the two of them. But I've got to say, looking at the game, did we really miss Barney in the first half? You know, before he came on, I think Raskin was outstanding, mate. Absolutely, he's a man in a match. I think he get a man in a match with everybody anyway.
I think so, mate. And by the way, I don't think Hadji was far behind him, Stevie.
Listen, you know yourself, you're not the greatest Hadji fans, and I intended to agree with most of what you says. You know, I just thought slow, no hard enough. Is he the answer? No, but I've got to say, since he's come in, I mean, he's unbelievable passing. The boy's got a football brain, and that's you can't take that away from him. He's got a football brain. He's always looking for that splitting pass, or he'll do a pass that nobody sees. You go, where did that come from? And that's what you've got with the boy, and that's what we really need, because we're not got a lot of service up to our forward line. And you're seeing it now. You're seeing it with Raskin. You're seeing it with Hadji. You know, you're starting to see a wee bit of football getting played now. So lo and behold, let's just keep it going, man. Because it's brilliant.
Yeah, Albert, would you agree with that about Hadji? Or comfortable with
that? Hadji's football brain's unbelievable, mate. He has got a football brain. I always said that he's got a football brain. It's his legs that are the problem. But it didn't seem to be a problem last night. And his stamina and he's getting about the park last night was excellent. He's never going to be the quickest player, I suppose. But he has got a football brain. There is no doubt about that, mate. He can see passes that others don't see. And he also can execute them, both feet. He's a balanced player, you know what I mean? When he's on the ball, he always looks balanced. Nice player when he's on his game, really, honestly, nice player. And he's in a role now. He's in a role now that he's enjoying.
And I had 3 people on the platform for the bronze medal, Albert.
Oh, aye. Oh, definitely, mate.
I had Czerny, Jefty, and Iggerman.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. And don't underestimate Danilo. All right, he should have scored more goals last night. But don't underestimate that wee man. His movement is superb, man. Absolutely superb. And that is making a huge difference to your forward line. A huge difference. So don't underestimate that wee guy. I know he's no prolific. Pity. He's like Hadji, he's no fast. There's no seeming to have a fault with most of the players. There's something just not quite there. But you put them all together, right, and they're starting to look like a team now. I know one result doesn't change anything, and I'm not going over the top with that. But I definitely can see a wee blue shoots are something good growing, and let's hope it continues. We still need more players, mate. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, my priority is centre half and the midfield player, mate. Yeah. And I listened to the show last night after the game at some point, and we've talked for roughly half an hour yet, and I think that's roughly an hour and a half. And there was one guy who I thought the game passed him by last night, and he was playing in the engine room, was young Diamandi, and it's a slight negative, but no, everybody can play well all the time. I thought he was neat and tidy, but he he looked a wee bit void of confidence. So hopefully with the team getting the result, it helps give him confidence all better. Then Stevie.
His performance last night put me in mind of Spackman. Remember Spackman? Spackman's the type of player.
I
remember
like
him?
Spackman.
Aye, but he's the type of player that if you mention his name, you hear his name getting mentioned in a game, he's not having a good game. I mean, you don't hear him getting mentioned, he's just having a quiet, effective game. And that was Diamandi last night. What he was doing last night was showing you that he's listening to the coaches now in Clermont. He's moving the ball quicker. He's none of this wee twirls and he done it a couple of times, but most of the time he moved the ball right away. Because if you're playing with guys like Danilo, Hadji, Wiagaman, Czerny, they're not wanting you to fart about on the ball. Just give them the ball. They'll put themselves into a position where they want the ball. Give them the ball. They're want on one-to-ones. They want on. They see the 1-2s developing in front of them. They want the ball right away. And he was doing that last night. He was just moving the ball nicely, and he never got mentioned at all last night. And I'm thinking to myself, that was Spackman. Spackman was like, I always remember Spackman. Like I like Spackman as well. Very effective when he wasn't getting mentioned. As soon as his name gets mentioned all the time, you knew he's having a bad game. It's funny, isn't it? Just some players are like that. That's what I seen anyway.
Mm-hmm. Aye, that's the first he's been mentioned in one and a bit shows. But aye, listen, Stevie, I think you better get these phone lines open. By the way, we will come to the AGM, but we're doing it in football and last night's game. That's we're not going to avoid the AGM. Get the phone lines open, Stephen.
Yep, good idea. Get the bells in and let's see what they're saying.
Let's hear from these.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. What's good is we're talking about all the positives. Listen, I'm not having a pop at the deal because it happens in a game of football, and Diamandi. I'm just saying that I thought he was the quietest out of midfield. And if you're saying you think he was neat and tidy, that'll do for me, all bit. Stevie?
Well, the very fact that we spoke about 6 goals and we never mentioned them in any of them, the game did pass him by a wee bit, Ox. Look, just keep things positive. 6-0. The team will get a lift for that. They all should get a lift for it. So let's just see where it takes us. I'm not wanting to get into slaughtering anybody or saying he's not been good the last couple of games or whatever. But just let's see where it takes us. The game did pass him by, but you're totally right when you said that. And Nigel Spackman, I remember the game at Parkhead that he scored.
I believe that was his debut.
Huh?
I think that was his debut.
It was. I think Stevie was there. I was jumping like a salmon. Oh, it was marvellous. Maybe he won. He won it. It says goal, wasn't it?
Aye. 1-0.
Magic. Oh.
I think I was out for about 4 days.
Here's a question, by the way. Do you think that Clermont tweaked his system last night?
I do, mate. I do. I was going to comment on it, but yeah, I think he did. Did you?
Oh, definitely. It made some difference.
I think he's been listening to the show.
Like he's eating pies now.
No. A good man would like a wee around half a dozen of steak.
Oh, aye. It looks that way, doesn't it?
Aye. Oh.
Listen, obviously, Big Phil's got a new bestie. You know that, Albert.
Who's that?
Come on, where were you today? He's got a new bestie.
Oh, aye. Big Southside. Aye. I'm going to tell you that Clermont fought through the crowd at the end of the AGM to go in. And he come down and he says, RangersRadio, and he shook Big Southside's hand. And Southside mentioned a few. I'll leave it to him to tell you what he said.
Yes. Listen, let's hear from the manager, Stevie. What you laughing at?
I'm laughing. He never mentioned me. I can't believe it. After everything I've done for him. Anyway, brilliant.
We think with You've got me laughing now. Well, we're here for the manager, Stevie.
Get him on. Get the big following. 6-0. Get him on.
Let's hear for you. Philip, come on.
Philippe, a big win, a big performance from your side. You must be happy with what you saw out there tonight.
Yeah, this is what I want to see, the football I want to see, the movement I want to see without ball, but also the reactions without ball and not giving the opponent one time to breathe and to get chances. So in a lot of things, it was a really good game. From all squad, also the players who came in, doing the right things. And we need to continue that way. I know I've been the one talking to everybody about it's hard work and we need to create automatism, we need to create connections between players, but that's normal in football. It's hard work and you see that things start to gel together better and better, that players start to understand better when to move, where to move, how to play passes, how to give crosses, how to be decisive in the box, and we need to continue that way. I'm happy that the fans can see now also the potential that is in this squad, and I will keep on pushing everybody in that dressing room to get the best out of themselves.
That period at the start of the second half, how pleasing was that for you for them to come out, really break through that one goal barrier and keep the goals coming after that?
No, it's crucial to break the belief of the opponent. So the first half we had already good opportunities to score more than one goal, and you need to kill the belief. In that way, what we saw after the third goal, you see it becomes easier also that the opponent gets more tired and they believe less that they can get points. So those are still crucial things. And it's good with a lot of young players, a lot of new players, that they feel this today, that they feel where we want to go with this team. And we need to create this desire to have this every time, every game, to be on top of things, to impose ourselves.
The variety of the goals tonight too, and 5 different goal scorers must be particularly pleasing as well.
Yeah, very, very good, and the way we scored with good football and good variation in our offensive actions. We've been working on really hard last couple of months. That's why it was frustrating the last 2 league games that we created enough chances, but we only scored 1 time in each game. In Nice, we did it in a good way. And today again, so it's about keep on pushing to have this efficiency, but to continue doing also the work without ball. That stays crucial, not to give the opponent time to come out and to create belief with getting chances against us.
You touch on the feeling of the players today, feeling this tonight. What can this do for them moving forward?
I think the feeling of the players is already really good. Because they see the things that they are doing on the pitch. They didn't get the reward last 2 league games in that way, in the amount of goals. So this will give also more belief from the outside. I think that's what they need, to have our fans 200% behind them all the time, and also in the difficult moments, what will happen in the rest of the season also, to push the players again in a positive way, to get the best out of them. But we wanted to give the fans something, and we were frustrated. The players were frustrated that we didn't reward ourselves enough in the last couple of games also with scoring goals, because we know that's what our fans want to see. So these 6 goals were for the fans today, and in that way what our players wanted to give to them.
Basically, he's saying, but we're saying, Albert, play at a tempo, make the chances, take some chances, take the spirit out of the other team, and the game becomes easier.
Absolutely, man. It's he knows it. We know it. The players know it. Everybody knows it in football how to do it. But it's just carrying it out. It's the difficult part. I don't know why we struggle, but we were struggling. You can't say that we didn't deserve to win the games, and even the Dundee United game. I mean, we should have trounced them. Let's be honest about it. We should have trounced them. And it's just ball when they get in the net. But you get that. I mean, every team gets that. You can't get the ball to get in the net. It just happens every now and again. But it's not that we've not been setting chances up. It's not, I would say we're not setting clear-cut chances or enough of them. But last night we did. And last night we're taking them, which is a huge difference. And as you're saying, he's saying what we're saying, score the goals and it takes the heart out of the team. And that'll never change, mate. That will never change in football. That's just football.
Yep. Stevie? Oh, he's doing a bridge. I think he's on mute, Paul Bennett. He's doing a bridge, man.
He's got
Great,
his head
sorry.
mixed.
But
Carry
He's
on,
got his head in
Stevie.
that oven again, looking for pies again, ain't you? You get
Carry
pies
on,
on. I bet you
Stevie.
have. Off time.
oh, I've got a wee tuna sandwich for half time, just the one. I couldn't do two. Fox did they put a double side there. It was an extended play. But anyway, no, the big man, he's craving, you could hear it there, he's craving a togetherness, and he's wanting the fans to get behind him. And last night he's saying the 6 goals were for the fans. We really wanted to give the fans back something. That's all brilliant to hear. We're just looking for a bit of consistency now. That's really what the fans are looking for, is consistency. For me, a lot of the fans would have probably glad to see the backside of the big one, but I'm no one of the fans. I've got him doing his January window. Let's see what it does, and let's see what the rest of the season brings, and then we'll make a decision. That's how I see it, because his hands have been tied with certain things. He should have been getting a lot more out of some of the players, right enough. But look, we are where we are. Just 6-0. He's wanted togetherness. The 6 goals are dedicated to the support. And by the way, they know their self. That you could see the disappointment in some of them if you're honest enough. You know what I mean? When they get beaten, stuff like that. But they need to get it together. Being 11 points behind them at this stage in the season is no good enough. And let's just see where we go now.
Aye. Listen, we can only you've learned for the past, but you can't change it, mate. But the last 6 days we've won 3 games, as I said. Nice away, St Johnstone away. No vintage performance, but okay, and should have scored more goals. And then at home, yes, mate.
Can I say this? He beats Tottenham, beats Celtic, and even draws with Man United. All's forgiven.
Aye, mate. Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Obviously,
It's just how it could turn around in its head. You know what I mean?
You've also got to beat Ross County on Sunday, mate.
That's the whole thing. That's the consistency we're looking for. That's what we're looking for.
And if you play like you did last night in that second half, you're nothing to worry against Ross County. That's the truth, all bear, isn't it?
That's it, but it doesn't work that way, doesn't it?
No.
But that's the truth. That's the truth. It's we know we've got it, and you can't say we've no. They showed it. They showed it in Nice. They've showed it in Malmo. They've showed it in the European game at home. I can't remember the name of the team. In Greece.
Right.
They showed it in Greece. They've showed it last night. They showed it against Ross County. That's what you guys trying to point out to you. There is games in there that they've showed that they're a decent crowd of players, but people don't want to listen to that. Oh, what are you bringing up Ross County for? Oh, what's all that about? Well, it's step by step. He's trying to tell you. It's step by step by building a team, by gelling the players together. I mean, some of these players, what the 10 players that will come in, they've been in the club 6 months yet, and people are writing them off. And you got to give everybody a chance, a real chance here to gel, see what we've got. And you can't deny that some of these players are talented players. I don't care what MD says. Some of these players are real talented players. And if you give them a chance, they'll prove it to you. Last night, I think, it's just the start of it. It's just the start. We still need to improve. We still need to get better. We still need to get more consistency. But that's the start of it as far as I'm concerned. Aye, they might have a bump in the road again, but that's just football, isn't it? You just got to accept that. It's if you're just getting whitewashed and all that, and you're not putting the effort in, and teams are not struggling to hold you. Well, that means you're a problem. You're a real big problem. But that's not the case, mate. All these games are dropping points. Teams have been struggling to hold us at times. Dundee United struggled to hold us, mate. Don't care what MD says. We used to slaughter them. Absolutely slaughtered them.
Got to take your chances, mate. In the first, I mean, Dessers hasn't started a game since, and I think the manager was. Listen, I've nothing to back this up, but I think he was angry with his performance, mate.
Mm-hmm. But he said that I don't know if it was the day he said it, but he said that he's only had one centre forward to choose for up until this point. And he's true, mate. He's not telling you any lies. He's not making any excuses. He's just pointing a fact out to you. Also, the figures, they're new out today. I'm not going to get into it because you're talking about it later on. But that's what he said. Now I can talk about the figures because the board have let the figures out. Now I can say it, but he couldn't say it up until they released it themselves. They've got to say it first. He can't say it. It's not his position to say it. And that's what he's been trying to tell you in a cryptic sort of way for the beginning, what he's up against and what's going to be happening and how he's trying to develop it. And if people wanted to listen and give him a chance, the message that came out were clear. But the fact of the matter is, we've been sacking managers now for 3 seasons now. Oh, this is the way you do it. It's not the way you do it. People are getting excited about sacking managers. That seems to be part of the season now. That's the most exciting part of the season. We sack the manager. Well, that has to stop, mate. As simple as that. It has to stop. And I think the big man will get it right. I'm with Stevie. I think the big man will get it right.
I hope you're right, gentlemen. I hope you're correct, mate. I hope you're correct. But listen, decent performance last night. But the fact that we've got somebody on a rich run of form playing in midfield helps the team. Hadji's come back into the team. He surprised me. I've got to be honest with you. He's maybe playing in his favoured role for the first time. Maybe. Because most of the time he used to get dumped out wide right. So, listen, you've got to give credit where it's due, Stevie, ain't you?
Of course you have. Listen, we're quick at criticising, but the hardest bunch to please, aren't we? You know what I mean? We want to win 5 and 6-0 every game. We want everything. The bottom line is, Albert said it there. Look, me and Stevie says we're with him. We all need to be with him. We all need to be with him for this to work. We can't be divided and anything. We need to stay united. That's not to say you've no got. Listen, there's times that I've been pulling my hair about substitutions and some of his set-up in games, and you're saying change it. Hey, listen, there's no manager out there that gets everything right. We just need to try and give the guy a chance, man. I said it there. I'm giving him the January window. Let's see what he does and let's see how the team perform. They'll get more games under their belt by then coming up and all. They'll find each other better. They'll start to be relationships building in the park. They're training together. They're eating together. Soon they'll start fighting together, we're hoping. So let's just see. Give them time. Stay united. Link arms and let's try and get all this. There are 3 Old Firm games still to go, by the way. There's no white flag here. There's absolutely no white flag going up here. 3 Old Firm games.
Hopefully go on a run. That's what we're hoping for. Yeah, I get it. Listen, look, we'll get players coming back. They're not everybody's favourites. And, Matondo, Cortez, we've not seen enough of Tom Lawrence. So the squad's getting stronger, Albert. Yeah, obviously Casemiro's been a blow, and hopefully Sterling will be back this weekend again. So you're getting the squad slowly getting stronger. I still think we're really short centre-half midfield, mate, if I'm honest, mate.
Me too, also, mate. I think we're short midfield as well. We're definitely strengthening it. There's no doubt about it. But the squad in general is getting better. There's no doubt about that as well.
I can't believe you two have mentioned a striker. I really can't. We need goals.
They're not going to sign a 4th striker, Stevie. Unless one goes out the door, they're not signing a 4th striker. That's the problem you've got. There's 3 sitting there. You're not going to go and pay wages for a 4th striker. You've got to be really honest about it.
You know, I think the January one did that one could go and one could come in.
That's a different debate, Albert. Would you agree?
Well, it is a different debate, but it's the same debate. I know that's a contradiction, but anyway, I would say one has to go. Definitely one has to go. But I agree with Stevie. We should be getting a striker, a better striker than don't know who. But he scores 2 goals last night, and every time you think he's a clown, this guy who pops up and does things like that, and you go, well, maybe you know he's not that bad, but he is that bad. He's just a bad player. Danilo and Agaman have proven that if you just open your eyes and see the movement of these boys and the control of these boys and the vision of the boys, they're superb players, the 2 of them, superb players. But again, it's that prolific goal scorer we're looking for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Agaman scored 3 goals in 3 games, mate.
That's what I'm saying. And still we're saying he's not prolific.
3 goals in 3 games. Yeah.
But it's, I dare say it, Cholak, we let him go. And that was a huge mistake, mate. Huge mistake.
Listen, I'm not saying we might be looking for another striker, but what I'm saying is you're not going to be paying heavy wages for 4, Stevie, yeah?
Oh, I get that. I get that. But listen, I would be delighted if we get another centre-half, a midfielder and a striker in January. And doesn't need to be another striker, it goes. Because I'll tell you, the injuries we get, Ox. I know you're saying four strikers, right? But see with the injuries, the cup games, what is it we've just said there? Well, the only team to play 3 games in 6 days, is it?
Right.
So listen, but we do need to beef the squad up a bit, to be honest, don't we?
I agree. I don't disagree with that, mate. But my priority, centre-half, midfield player, and maybe third, maybe a striker. Yeah, I think we're really short in the centre-half area, especially with Casemiro out for the season. We've not seen any of Lee and King, who I don't think is a centre-half neither. And I don't think Proper and Balogun are going to get us through every game, mate. Balogun's playing all these games and Proper being the type he is. So you're going to have to keep going to the well with him, and I don't know how that's going to work, mate. Just my thoughts, Albert.
Proper.
I mean, in an ideal world, we get all the players we want. In an ideal world, but it's not an ideal world. We'll get a certain amount of money or a certain amount of wages to play with, and we'll go to Box Clever. This is where Coffin and Clement and the scouting staff earn their money. They need to be creative in here and say, right, we need this, we need that, we need the next thing. We all know what we need. How are we going to get it, or how are we going to get the majority? If you're only going to say that you only can sign one player in the January window sale, who's it going to be? Who are you going to? What's the emphasis on? Who do we go for? And it's going to be that sort of choice, mate. Let's not kid ourselves on. We're not awash with money to. How can we get 3 of them? We get a centre half, centre midfielder, or a midfielder and a centre forward. We're just not in that luxurious position to do something like that at the moment. The day will come where we will be, but not at the moment. So you've got to pick one, and that's a dilemma, and that's the crux of the matter that Clement's in. He's the man that has to pick the player. Who do you want me to get? Coppin will say to him, who do you want me to get? I'm going to tell you I only can get one. What one is it? We all know that centre forward, we're light in centre halves. We all know we're light in midfield, and we all know we need a striker better than the ones we'll go. Well, better than one we'll go. But I think it's going to be the centre midfielder or the centre half that he's going to pick. There's going to be one of the two. One of them.
I'm craving goals, guys. I really do. A finisher for me. And see what you're talking about, Big Proper. Big Proper's just another Ben Davis for me, mate. He's just not strong enough for me. You're right there about a centre half. We need to beef the squad up, one in each position. Right up the centre of the park you go. You got a centre half, a midfielder, and a centre forward. For me, 3 signings would be absolutely fantastic. And how you get these 3 signings, God only knows. I don't know money-wise. I don't know if we need to sell before we can do it or whatever's happening. But I'll tell you now, I'm going to say something. I said this about 2 shows ago on a Wednesday, Dream Team night. Big Goggage. See that big boy at St Mirren? He flings it about. He knows the Scottish game. He's no shy in the tackle. I'd like to see him in my squad. He'd be a good squad player for us.
I think that ship sailed because he's age, mate. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. That might be somebody we missed out who could have been a squad player and done as a real turn.
Yep.
Sometimes we turn our nose up, and I think that guy's got genuine ability. Yeah, but whether he's still on the park with us, he all bears a different debate.
It's the old saying, but no, I mean, Steve, he plays well against us. I don't watch him against anybody else, but it's
better. But all bear with better, and a better team with better players in about him.
You see, what I see with that guy is the effort he puts in against us is tremendous, mate. He really, really puts effort in. You can't say, doesn't he? And he looks a player. He does look a player. But my old man told me years ago, and I think all the old timers tell you the same thing. But you don't pick a player that plays well against us. You pick a player that plays well against them, mate. It's a fact, because all players play well against us. Let's be honest about it, because When Rangers win a league, they really seriously win a league. When they win a league, it's nothing. They great big shakes, mate, because the teams are not putting the effort in they're putting against us. No way, no chance. And that boy, Gojic, he's a prime example of that. He's a prime example. I'm not saying he's a bad player, Steve. I'm not saying that at all. I just think the effort he puts in against us is maybe 20, 25, maybe even 30% more than he puts in against any other team in the league.
We just look needing something that knows the Scottish game, kind of got a bit of guile, a bit of iron, and no shy in attack. Nobody's going to bully. Do you know what I mean? So
I know. I see the profile you're describing is actually perfect for what we're needing. It's just who is it? Where do we get him from?
And of course, St Mirren would want treble the money that we normally.
He would turn into a £5 million.
I don't imagine he'll have long to go in his contract. He might be on a rolling year, man. You know, but I think his age would be against him. But ability-wise, I think maybe we missed out on it. But as a squad player, I'm not saying you build a team around him, you know. But
look at the big centre half. Look at the big centre half for St Johnstone. He had a great game against us last week. Can't remember his name. It's Anderson. I can't remember his name. That was him that kept bringing the ball out of the fence and charging right up the park. You're looking at him and on the face of what we seen there, you go, he's not a bad centre half, that big boy. You know what I mean? He commands the air and he can travel with the ball and he's quick for recovery. Saying he looks not bad. Would he be a good player for us?
Mr. Fox is the boy. We should look at the boy Kent at Hearts. Young, good centre back, worth a look. The problem is, if we get 2 years in their contract, they'll be wanting 300 million for him, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's it. Plus a season ticket.
Aye.
Can you give my dad a house?
Can I ask you, when you mentioned finisher, were you talking about somebody for the Hearts, Stevie?
Finisher? Oh, definitely no.
Okay, just wondering. Just
listen, he's no better than what we've already got. Come on. He's no, if you're being honest, listen, Blue Nose fits the profile, knows the Scottish game, but he's no any better than Big Deserts. I'm going to be honest. He's had one good season. This season, he's done nothing this season, has he? You know? But no for me. That wouldn't be my striker. I'd be going elsewhere.
All right, just being curious, Mick. Yeah.
That ship sailed, as a wise man would say.
I think it might have done, you know. And also, it might have sailed for the Hearts, mate. Might have gave away a lot of money.
Aye, they've made a boo-boo, I think.
You know, but that's what it is. Right, okay. Albie, a question for you.
We'll make it hard.
What was the team mark for last night?
7.5.
7.5. Oh, come on,
Yep.
you don't even give him an 8, mate.
No. You need to play a lot better than that to get an 8, mate. A lot better. You've got to keep these marks tight so there is room for improvement. You've got to willy-nilly throw these.
Stevie, be due.
I think he's been over generous.
See, there you are.
Wait,
Drum Chapel boys, the Drum Chapel boys are more harsh than me.
I'm giving him a 7, aye.
7.
What?
6 goals, clean sheet, goal leading against the post the whole night. Raskin outstanding, Hadji outstanding, all your forwards score. We play some good stuff. All right, I'll accept the opposition as the Tottenham Hotspur, however. Well,
You've got to remember, I had to walk the length of the Copeland to get a tomato sauce.
Well, you took a point off for that, did you?
Oh, definitely. Just look at we took 1 point off for
You shouldn't be having tomato sauce with a pie anyway.
Listen, you've got to remember your opposition. Their heads just went down there. Me Eggman scored that third one, a brilliant goal. Their heads just went down. It turned into a training session. 7 for me, and Albert said no truer words. You've got to leave room for improvement, and we drastically need to improve. You know, that's the first step. We're putting teams away. Hopefully it gives us the wee lift that we need. It puts a wee bit of confidence in it. You know, it snowballs, a bit of confidence. Winning games breeds confidence. Let's just see where it takes us. But a 7 for me, and the thought it must looking into the next game, we're hoping to take that in ways, isn't we? And the players got to be left for it.
Okay, gentlemen, okay. Albert and Mr. Goodman. 7. We'll go to, it's time to go for the tune. Couple of hard men. Let's hear what Fox has picked out tonight.
Rangers doing it Ibrox is the place, and we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to cure and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. The story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plane. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, come and join us. Give your thoughts on last night. We took the football first, and obviously there'll be a lot of news coming out the club today at the AGM. So we'll go over to our AGM correspondent, Mr. Albert.
Hold on, I'm finishing my Fox's jam cream.
You've got to be quicker, mate. You've got to be quicker. You've got to read the tune and get it done, mate.
I was at the AGM. It was a big do about nothing. No, I mean, there was not much said as far as I'm concerned.
Useless.
The big one at the will grab the headlines is the 800,000 for 5 players. That's the one that's going to hit the headlines, isn't it?
Aye.
Plus, there's a new. Sorry, mate. Go for it.
You carry on. Aye, I get that, Albert. I get that. But we were trying to get people off the wage bill. There's two edges to that coin, isn't there?
Definitely.
And how do you see it? I mean, we get Golson, I think, he had 2 years left in his contract, yeah? really high wages, maybe early 30s wages. Cantwell, decent wages, and 2 or 3 year left. I can't remember off the top of my head, mate. Yeah. Slammers had a 4-year deal, who's only just into it, mate. Big wages, yeah.
Yep.
Right, McCrory, well, want to do nothing. And by the way, young Ross, Robbie McCrory, bad night for him last night, but hopefully he'll learn for that, because we wish him all the best, because he moved to further his career, and understand that. Now, I get that people are critical about the amount we got in transfers, but we were, how do we say, there was a story behind all these players, and our main role was to get people off the wage bill, and I'm reckoning, just quickly the top of my head, the players, you're maybe, 120,000, 6 million a year, would that be right? So you've only got some money in, you've maybe saved 67 million a year, so in the next 2 years, it's also 14 million. So there's two sides to the coin. Yes, Cantwell you could have signed, but if you got him off the wage bill when he wasn't playing, the other teams who are coming at him, looking at him, know all the story, mate. They've done their homework. So there's two sides to the coin. It's not that maybe what you've brought in, it's what you're saving every week also. And that's not me sticking up for the board. Yeah, I would have liked to get more money in, Stevie. Of course I would. But I see the rationale. It's no ideal when you're selling like that.
You see both sides of the coin, Ox, but the thing is, when you're buying players, you should be getting, I mean, for what, 5 players, we should be getting a lot more money for that. I do get the fact that you're getting them off the wage bill, and if you
what was somebody going to do to Golson then? What were they going to pay with Golson and match his contract?
Because his age, I know. It's just unbelievable that they get 2 year added on, and bad business, wasn't it? It was bad business, and that's where you leave yourself. You leave yourself in no man's land when you give out contracts like that. You know what I mean?
That was a mistake, a pure financial mistake, Albert. So who's got? Let's take Golson in isolation. Who's going to pay Golson any money and match Golson's contract? Ain't going to happen at his age, was it?
No, no chance, mate. But you get his contract sentimentality. Like a lot of players at the Rangers for the last 10, 12 years, it's sentimentality. It's come in and played Holt, Halliday. It goes on. There's countless of them. Even Tav, to a certain extent, it's a length of contracts. But Goldson's one of them. He just fits right into that bracket. I mean, you got to remember, he was the Scottish Cup final. He was leaving. That was his last game for Rangers, Scottish Cup final. And he sat there. He admitted it himself. He sat there and he seen the crowd going mental after the victory. And he decided for then, what am I leaving for? What I shouldn't be going. But what did we do? It was a 4-year contract we gave him. You're sitting going, that's madness, mate. It's total madness. You know it's madness. You know how it's quite easy to work out that was madness? Nobody came in to sign him. Nobody. He's out of contract, mate. Nobody came in to sign him. Nobody actually we're going to match a 4-year contract at the wage he was on for a start. Right? But we never even get any negotiation with anybody. And the same with Tav. That's when you know, when you're giving these players these big, huge contracts for that length of time, you're doing it wrong, mate. It's when the players are getting chased that you know you've got an asset, but you've not got an asset if nobody's wanting them. And that's a fact. And we're just firing out crazy. Holt, 5-year contract. Halliday, 5-year contract. You've won. I would see the point if you want to keep them, build teams around them, and people are chasing them. They're real assets to the club. But they're not. They're just ordinary players.
So if you take him in isolation, mate, you're most likely the deal is getting him off the wage bill. And even Connor Golson, mate, that's maybe, you're talking about towards £4 million in wages you've saved, yeah.
Well, the question was, the guy stood up and got asked the question, can you confirm to Taylor, can you confirm that the £800,000 received for players on the model he showed, the slide he showed, that that 800,000, could you confirm that's what we got for these 5 players? Cantwell, McCrory, Lammers, Wright and Golson. And he confirmed that. I can confirm that, he says. I knew we get into the argument that you're making and I'm making as well. On face value, that's dreadful. That's tragic, mate. Tragic. It really is. It shouldn't happen. But No, be getting them after wages. And we had to do it, by the way. We were forced into do it with FFP. Let's not kid ourselves on this. We're not coming out of this trying to say we're a master stroke here, we're reducing the wage bill. We're forced into it. If that FFP wasn't in position, we'd be still paying these wages, mate. Anyway, so I'm taking over a 3-year period. They've said they'll get 3 years each on their contracts. Macquarie and Wright are not really in this, but they're now just been dragged into it because of the timing of it. I would reckon you're saving anywhere between 12 and 18 million pound over a 3-year period for these players getting off your books. Plus roof, plus Lammers.
The ones that anyway, we've been joined by George Logan. Evening, George.
How are you doing, boys? All right?
All right, mate.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, aye, that's there's a myth here, right? How you doing? All right, boys?
Aye, good, mate.
All that in your own lifetime, George.
The thing is, listen, it's all right to slag the team and things like that. I thought the team played really well last night. I thought we had you. And that's 2 games in a row. I thought Hadji played really well. Always want a couple of times he lost the ball, but he still wanted the ball. I'm not saying they're world beaters, Ross, because you can my feelings on it. I don't think we're the greatest team in the world. But last night I thought we played really well. We Hadji played awfully well last night. I thought he was wanting the ball, taking the ball. Tierney was wanting the ball, taking the ball, playing well. Playing with 2 up front. I mean, who would have ever thought about doing that? Playing with 2 up front, and that worked out all right for us as well. So I get what Albert saying. It's Kilmarnock, and Stevie saying it's Kilmarnock. We need to watch who we're playing against. But that could have been at one last half time last night. We could have been in there at 1-1. We wouldn't have been a bit surprised. You know what I mean? So the boys played well last night. I thought we were asking again. I think that's 3 or 4 games in a row now. We're Raskin's been absolutely brilliant for us. He's really taken a good game for us. And Connor Barnes playing well as well. He wasn't playing last night, but I thought Raskin was excellent last night.
I think we all agree. We gave Raskin man of the match, followed by Hadji, mate, and I think we don't disagree. Stevie?
I agree with George, aye. But can I ask George a question? George, what's your stance on the manager? Are you kind of something similar to myself? Like, I'm going to give him to the January 1 day, see what gets brought in and see how we kick on for there. What's your stance on it, mate?
I think we've got to give him till January, Stevie. I think after Dundee United last week, I was scunner, Stevie, and I thought I can't even bear to watch this. I mean, it's just a hard watch. It's not even that we're getting bad results. It's a hard watch. Last night, I thought we played some good football, and we have had a lot of injuries. Danilo and things like that have been injured quite a bit. So I think there's nothing else we can do, Steve, at the end of the day. We've just got to back the guy, get behind the guy until January. Let him get a couple of your players in. And what you were saying there, I mean, I think Rangers fans are a bit posh for me, Stevie, sometimes. I think some of the best players we've actually brought in and free transfers have came to Scotland. Nacho Novo, Gavin Ray, guys like that, even Ian Murray, guys like that have done well for us. I think we need to go round about these leagues. And I'm not saying we're going to go down and get 3 or 4 players for each team and we're going to win the league with these guys. But for 100%, I think we can go round Dundee United. I think there's one in Dundee United, a couple of wee boys at Kilmarnock last night, and a couple of boys at Aberdeen. Just go in and put daft bids in for them, 100 grand and 150 grand. See what it takes. I mean, I think if any of these guys have anything about them at all, and Rangers are coming in and putting a bid in for you, I mean, look at that lot of the other side of the city. They ain't got a boy for Dundee. I think they paid £1 million for him, and they got another boy for Belgium and paid £12 million. I would say the boy they got for Scotland's every bit as good as the boy they got for Belgium. So there's players out there to be found. I think we need to take the poshness off and just go there. And the big boy Gogic, maybe is 35-year-old, but he's probably better than a couple of guys we've got on our team now. So I think we go there and just spend £1 million on maybe 3 or 4 players for Scotland. And again, Bridgeman will be, the wee blue vein will be sticking at the top of Bridgeman's head now, me saying that. But I think you've got to go out and top up your team with these guys. And I'm saying, if you spend 2 or 3 million on players out with Scotland, I fair enough. But still go out and look at these guys. I think there was a guy 2 seasons ago there went for Airdrie, I think it was. He's now playing with West Ham. Again, there's guys out there to be found. I'm not saying we've got to find all world beaters, but there's guys out there to be definitely be found just to top up your squad for the league. Aye.
Yeah, don't disagree, George. I don't disagree. I've agreed with Bridges' sentiment. He knows that. I don't think you cut off your nose to spite your face, Albert.
Oh well, I don't know. I don't know so much, mate. I'm still no agreeing with giving these Scottish teams money. I really am. But I know what you're saying, George. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense, mate. You shouldn't be cutting your nose off to spite your face. But again, if you're good enough, let's be honest. They need to be good enough. Playing against Rangers is one thing. Playing for Rangers is a completely different animal. You're not getting away with half the things you get away with the teams you're getting away with now. You play with Kilmarnock or Morton or whoever. You come into that Rangers team and it's right away you're getting judged and you're getting refereed to a different standard, a complete different standard altogether. But it's not impossible, mate. I agree. Over the years it's been proved it's not impossible to get a good unit out of these teams. But who is it? That's my problem. Who is it? What ones do you get? Because again, we can't afford to fill up, or not so much fill up. We can't even supplement the squad with bad players now. It's getting that close to the bone. Most of our signings, I would say, normally you say if you sign 6 players, you maybe get 3, maybe 4 if you're really doing well, work out well. But we're now beyond that, mate. We need to get at least 5, if not the 6, to sit in and play well for us. That's how near the bone we're getting with this.
What was strange about last night's team, George? I think there was only 3 new signings in it. Jeffrey, Egeman and Cherny. When they were there last season, yeah.
That's a good point, actually. To be fair, also, I mean, I think as much as I say, I think the manager is on a shoe peg, and I think a lot of people probably think that as well. He's made some good signings, Ox. I mean, I think
Jeffrey. I like Jeffrey, mate. Yeah.
So do I, right? So do I think, and I ken the boy Cherny's only a loan signing. He looks all right to me. The boy Barn, for me, looks like a half decent enough player. And the Egerman looks like a half decent enough player. We've got to give these guys a chance. But we're saying there about what guys do you bring in. I think we've missed out on a few guys early. Even last season, the boy from Motherwell, the boy Bear, was scoring goals against us and scoring goals against them. If we've got a game against Olympiacos on a Thursday night and then a St Johnstone on a Sunday, we should be able to bring a guy in like that and score goals for us on a Sunday. And again, you're saying about Shanklin as well. Shanklin should be able to do it now. We're bringing guys into a better quality player to play in our team. I think these guys should come in and score a barrel load. So I think there's a wee boy up at Ross County now. I mean, I wouldn't go with his name right enough, but he's scoring goals for them. He should be able to come in and score goals for us. We should be able to pay 100 grand for him, 50 grand for him, and get him to come in. Kamara.
Like Chris Boyd done. Because let's be honest, Chris never got a start in all the European ties or the big games, did he? No, why?
Still scores so many goals.
Exactly. I get your point, George. Listen, these two here, one gave it a 7, one gave it a 7.5 last night. I'm giving it an 8. Where do you sit, George, in that performance last night?
I heard them saying that, Ox, and I can see Stevie and I can see O'Bear's point. You're always striving out continuous improvement. That's what you're always wanting. And I think last night, I think that was a massive improvement to what we've been watching. I think all the park, Tavernier played well last night. Big John Suter, I think the big guy's just steady for us, Again, I think he's a world beater. But like you're saying, Butland standing against the post, it's never moved all night. I didn't even think I had one save to make. I would give it an 8 as well. And of course, you want improvement. And for to get to that 9, you've got to that next level. And I'm not saying it has to be a 10 nothing then or something like that. I'm not saying
you have to be a good team, George, with that performance.
Aye. But to where we went to Dundee United, Ox, and St Johnstone to that last night, I mean, probably Dundee United and St Johnstone, you're saying it's 2s and 3s. That last night is up there for an 8 for me. Like, and if you can get 5 or 6 of them in a bounce coming up, Ox, you'd be doing no bad. Like, hey, we'll start to kick on, and that's what we need to do.
Maybe George has nailed it. Maybe we should stop playing at the weekend and play just during the week. We seem to be rubbish at the weekend, Steve.
Aye. Listen, no, look, we said George as well, the 3 games in 6 days, we need to beef the squad up a wee bit. All we're saying is, there's players out there in Scotland that you wouldn't pay a lot of shekels for, and you maybe get them. It would turn their heads anyway and then want to play for the Rangers, that's for sure. But Whether they're good enough, you don't know until they come. Everything's a gamble, innit? Everything's a gamble. I just think we've kind of lost our Scottish identity a wee bit. Maybe that's been part of where we are the new, but there's definitely players out there that you could maybe get for hee-haw, come in there and you might find a wee diamond in the dirt. We've done it before and I know we can do it again. But whether Shanklin's the answer, I wouldn't say he's any better than what's there, or whether Gogic is too old, that's another thing. But no matter who you bring in, it's a gamble, isn't it, George?
Aye, of course, Steve, the thing is, we could go out and spend £3 million on a left winger. I mean, he could be injured all season. Or we can go out and spend 50 grand on a Glenn Kamara, and he does well for us. So every single player, doesn't matter what level they're at, every single one of them is a gamble. And by the way, it's not a gamble for us to go and just put the feelers out to an Aberdeen player, to a Dundee United player. Just put the hangways out and say, we've got a bid 50 grand for you. We've got a bid 100 grand for you. Because I don't care what anybody says. Shanklin's still a good player. I'm not saying going out and get him. Shanklin's still a good player. His head's been turned, Stephen. He wanted to come to Rangers. That's the big problem. And now he's not kicked up all season. So it's not going to affect us if we turn around and say, Aberdeen, we want a word for your centre half. We want him for 70 grand. We want your midfielder for 80 grand. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what these teams are, Dundee United, Aberdeen or that. Anybody who comes for Rangers goes in for one of the teams and their heads will be turned. As simple as that.
Yep.
By
the way, George, I was just going to say, George gave them an 8, the same as you, and I was just going to say, I mean, by all your heads. There you go. A 7 all day long.
Oh, well. George, we're obviously a better judge than they two,
So a bit of opinions, Oxy. So a bit of opinions.
He's getting carried away, lad. He's getting carried away.
Maybe we're just more generous, George,
Maybe we're just desperate to be viewing a better match for that, Ox. Maybe that's what it is,
Aye. Listen, we can say that we've won 2 games, one Thursday and one last night. And all I've heard is that the opposition were poor. But I didn't hear Ross County were awful on Saturday. Yeah?
No.
Didn't hear that.
Left wing media, mate.
Aye. You only play who's in front of you, mate. You only play who's in front
No,
of
that's
you.
certain teams, Ox. That's certain teams.
Oh, is it?
Aye. We don't get judged by that sort of rule. We're
Sorry.
completely different, mate.
Right, I suppose, George, we better get back to the AGM. Did you pick up on that story today, George? I know you're a hard-working guy.
I by the way, and I agree with exactly what you're saying with the AGM. It was the one Albert was saying the 800 grand. When you actually, I've only had a wee quick look at it when I went to work and had a look at it. But let's be honest, folks, if you've got 800 grand getting saved with the club, how much is that in wages and that as well? People need to look at that. The wages that we've saved for all these guys, and should we have got a lot more money for these guys? We should have. But see, at the end of the day, you're famous for saying it, Ox. How have you got to get these guys off the wage bill? The only way you've got to get them off the wage bill is letting them go for nothing. As simple as that. And you've got to turn around and say, well, we've lost a bit of money in it. Nobody wants to be losing money. But see, at the end of the day, well, in the long run, we're going to be saving money. But that 3-year contract, that 4-year contract, that 2.5-year contract swings and roundabouts. So I don't think that's as bad as what people think it is, like, yeah.
The headline's bad. The headline standalone's bad, Aye, the headline, I get that. You should maybe arguably used to so when we signed Cantwell, you should have maybe sold them the summer before, and then things would have been different. But yeah, that's all hindsight. But what I'm saying is the headline is bad, and I get that, I understand that. But when you look at the figures, Albert, and you say the wages, what did you come up with? What was that figure you came up with?
12 to 18 million you'll save over the 3 year, mate. That's what I'm writing. Just on their players, counting Roof and all that, and would you call them Lundstrom and all that. It starts getting crazy figures when you bring all them into it. It really is. But they were going away for nothing anyway.
Aye. All right, you've had to bring in other players on wages, but no as substantial wages. And if you're honest about it, Campbell wasn't going to play under Clement the way it looked. Golson, people, the fans wanted them. It's time for a change. Wright and McCrory weren't really, well, they were part of the first team squad, but didn't influence it much. And Wright was never going to cut it for us. McCrory took a decision. And Lammers, well, Lammers, not a lot of people took to him, did they? So there's stories behind them all, but I get the headline. I don't like the headline. I can see where people, if you only read that, would be gone nuts. But when you deep dive, George, it's a different story, isn't it?
Of course it is, Ox. It's the exact same as the wee boy Hadji. If you look at the way we're thinking with Hadji, everybody was saying, should they get another contract? Should we pay this money? We'll see at the end of the day, see if we weren't got to get rid of him in the summer. We've got two options. We either keep him and sit him on the bench and then they play him because he gets that extra bit of money, or they give the boy that extra bit of money and you might get a wee turn at him. And I think that's what's happened there. And I think we've had to take a gamble everywhere. Because the money is tight, let's be honest, the money is tight. And I think we've had to take a gamble on every one of these people. Have we got to bring this person into the team? Has this person got to fit into what I want? I or no? If he fits into this team, we'll bring him in. If no, we need to get rid of him off the wage bill. And if that means, like Olbear says, if that means us taking a hit in the wages and a hit in the money we pay for him, we've just got to do that, Ox, because we can't allow somebody to sit on, let's say, Lammer's out of the bone, around about 20 grand a week, 15, 20, 25 grand a week or something along the lines. We can't afford to have somebody sitting taking 100 grand a month out bank balance, Ox. It just can't happen. We're not that team anymore. So it's all right, and I understand people moaning and having a gripe about we've let these go away for 800 grand, but the space of a year, Ox, we'll get that back, and it's the way we've just got to work them now. It's not great, but it's the way we've got to work them now, Ox.
Aye. We've got to be smarter with contracts as well. We've got to be smarter with recruitment. I think that's I think that was mentioned today as well, Albert, wasn't it?
Aye, they're saying that's what Neil Scotland's saying. We've got to watch what we're doing now. We've got to be smart when we're signing these players, and we've got to be smart when we're filling in the contracts, saying to yourself, well, we can't. One thing, he never said it today, but he's been saying it all along, that we're living like a Premiership club, and we shouldn't be. We're not a Premiership club. We're not getting £100 million a year on a TV deal. We've got to actually cut your cloth accordingly, and that doesn't mean you drop the standards. Because I was going to come on to the next thing. One of the questions to the board and John Gilligan was a female stood up. Christine, I think her name was, and she turned and says, "If we're doing a rebuild and we're going to drop our standards, why didn't you just come out and tell us that? Why don't you just be honest with us and tell us that no, we're going to have to struggle for 2 or 3 years before we can go forward? Why are you saying that?" And John Gilligan was about to answer it, and Phil Clement jumped in at that and said, "Look, I want to answer that question. As soon as, I'll quote what he says, as soon as you agree to let the standards go, you're no longer Rangers. We don't let the standards go. We keep trying to win leagues. We keep trying to win every competition we're in." That's basically what he's saying. I'm paraphrasing that, but that's what he's saying. Don't let the stand. We're not letting the football department or not, and the board are not letting standards drop. We're not going to accept standards dropping. The standards will drop because you can't afford top class players. But you're not going to sit there and say, "Well, that's okay then. We'll not win anything, or we'll occasionally win something." No. And the man's right. If we accept, like Stevie said, we're not throwing a towel in this league. No chance is this getting thrown in, mate. We're going to battle this to the end and battle all the cups to the end. And that's what they're trying to say. We're not accepting, we'll not win it this year. That's nonsense, mate. I hate anybody saying that. It's a rebuild year. We're not going to win nothing. Who says who? Clement's telling you, as soon as you let these standards up and accept that, you're no Rangers anymore. And he's not accepting it. And his staff are not accepting it. And he says his players are not going to accept it either. And I like to hear that. So it's a battle now. Get the sleeves rolled up and get into this.
Can I ask you three gentlemen a question? And I want a yes-no answer, yeah? I know you, yeah? A yes-no answer. See the 5 guys that were mentioned, were you upset about any of them leaving the club? Yes or no? George?
No for me, no.
Stevie?
No.
Albert?
No. Go further if you want. I had 14 players that left. I wasn't sad with any of them either.
Well, there you go, you know what I mean? So, and when you've done their wages, I bet you've done that list somewhere, Albert. You've got it, hadn't it? Or is it in the cupboard?
Oh, no, that's that. You're talking serious money now, man. You're talking real serious money now. You're talking in the 30 millions, 40 million now, Mark. You're going up with that. That's how high you're going up with that. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. But this is what the Niels Cotton and the boy Taylor are all trying to tell you, and Clement himself are trying to tell you. It's a huge thing we're trying to do here, by the way. And you've got to, you don't have to stay with them. You've got your opinion. Of course you have, and you're entitled to your opinion, but you've got to face facts. You've definitely got to face facts, and that's what they're trying to tell you. The board have got to face facts, which they're doing, and the football staff have got to face facts, which they're doing. The only people that are not facing facts are the people that think we could run about smacking teams all over the place with substandard players in certain positions, substandard players. But we have got some decent players. Don't lose that sight of that. We have got some decent players. As George says, some of the signings that he's made are good players. You can see they're good players. It's just that we've not got enough quality in the team or in the squad yet. But it will come.
And if you were talking about value for money, when I look at this now, the next two you would move on would be potentially Lawrence and Matondo, if that makes sense. Now, you try and get money from Matondo January or summer, and Lawrence, if you can move him out for a fee in January, or his contract might run out, but you'll be saving a lot of money there. But they've both got assets. But if you take value for money, Stevie, they're no game, is it, out of the piece?
Nah, Atondo, dear me, he'd been another one I'll not be sad to see gone. He's had a couple of wee flashes into a couple of good goals, one against them, but these guys are sitting on the bench doing absolutely hee-haw, taking big wages, and we've all shouted, get them off the wage bill. And see if it means breaking even, and instead of them sitting in the stand picking up, say, 4 or 5 million quid or a period or whatever it is for 2 or 3 different players, get rid of them. That's what I would say. Get rid of them. No time for sentiment now. We can't afford to have guys like that sitting in the stand picking up money and hardly kicking a ball. Definitely no. We went into a lot of these eyes shut. We went into a lot of these. We paid guys like Golson and Tab big money, and that was just loyalty. That was a pals act. That was their business deal. That was pals here. These have done well for the club, and the blinkers were shut, and they've given all these guys crazy.
I would have gladly gave Connor Golson another contract. I wouldn't have gave him a 4-year deal.
No, that contract.
No, that contract, yeah.
Aye, yep, a rolling one.
You can't have these players sitting draining our resources, mate, and that's what they're doing. Matondo, Lawrence, Roof and all them, they're just draining our resources, mate, and we can't allow it to happen.
Mm-hmm. George?
Even the boy Dill, I mean, the boy Dill must win a fair bit of money. He came for the Championship in England where they get good money. So that's my point about bringing guys in for the Scottish League. Say you bring in 2 or 3 guys, you could bring in 2 or 3 guys and probably not even be in the same wages with that guy's on, because he'll be in a fair wee bit of money. And I never ever see, every time he comes on, I cringe. And I'm not saying he's a terrible player, but he doesn't do nothing for us. We're bound to have somebody at Auchenhowie. We've got to have somebody at Auchenhowie that's the same standard as that guy, and you've got to give him a wee bit of a chance. A young laddie, there's got to be somebody there.
If there isn't, George, you should put the padlock on the place tomorrow.
Shut the doors. Just shut the doors, right? That's what I would do. If there's nobody there as good as Kieran Dill at Murray Park, what you do is you shut the doors and just say, "Come today, we'll just scrap that, like, eh?" Because you've got to be somebody between 18, 21-year-old there, 17, 21-year-old there, as good as Kieran Dill. There's got to be Ox, or like you say, shut the doors.
Well, George, come on, address that today. They're talking about the academy, and he's turning and saying the problem with the academy, and Neil's Colton backed him up on it. The problem with the academy is, the standard of the first team is up at a level, say 3 feet, because I get we're on radio, you have to use your hands, but say 3 feet, he says, and the standard of the academy, the boys, is maybe at 2 foot 6. It's too big a gap to go jump, and that's what he's trying to say. I'm trying to get that gap closed so the boys coming through are closer to the first team standard than they are at the moment. And he's basically telling you they're not good enough, mate. They're not good enough. No, yeah, anyway. And it takes too long to get them good enough.
Interesting.
I was at the B team the other night, George, and I'm telling you, there's nobody in the B team that will walk into the first team. Nobody.
The boy Bailey Rice, you know, I think so, no?
No, nowhere near it. No, nowhere near it.
Same issue you mentioned the
last
last
time. Talent, but
same issue you mentioned the last time, Albert.
Physicality.
And throwing the park.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Some of the boys have got talent. You can see it, George. But it's boys' talent, if you know what I mean. It's no first. The closest I would say you've got to it is the wee boy McKinnon. The wee boy McKinnon looks a bit stronger and he looks a bit more aware, I would say. And he scored a good goal away with the head. But he's the one I would say he's the closest to bringing him into the first team. But even he's short of what's required. The boy in Salah, the big centre half, he looks if he's. I would give him another year, mate. He'll be close. He will be close. He's a player, that boy. Definitely a player. But Clement, I'm telling you right now, the man is bursting to bring these boys through, bursting to get them into that team. But he can't put in what God left out, and that's an old saying, an old athletic saying, isn't it? You can't put in what God left out, and that's the problem he's got. So when you look at Clement and his choices, he's got very, very limited choices in the transfer market, his budget, his academy, and you're looking at the players at the moment with injuries. Everywhere he turns, there's a blockage. He can't get a clear path for everything. He can't get all the players fit and ready to go. He can't get a budget to buy better players, and he can't bring through academy players. The guy's hands are tied at every year, and I think he's doing a remarkable job with all these obstacles in his way. You got to remember that. But we're going to get there. And the introduction, and I don't know if you want to know, but they're talking about a new restructure on the board. And John Gilligan said that's happening now. We're going to restructure the board and bring non-investment people onto the board with more football knowledge and things like that.
More Scottish knowledge, more media knowledge, more political knowledge. I read that, mate. I read that. It looks as if there could be a bit of movement. Looks as if we'll see where it goes with the new chairman. Was that the headlines for the AGM today for you, Albert? The 800 grand man's going to grab the headlines, but it's only my opinion, but deep dive and thinking of wages, it's not quite as simple as that. Could we get more money? If we'd have sold them at peak, if we'd have sold Golston 4 years ago, we'd have get money back on them. If we'd have sold Cantwell maybe last summer, before the fight with Clement, it's obvious that's happened. It wasn't his cup of tea. Lammers, well, we shouldn't have signed them, if I'm honest, George. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing? That will be the headline. You know that mainstream media. It looks bad for Rangers. It sounds bad for Rangers, and it is bad for Rangers. So that's what they're going to grab. But I'll tell you right now, the headline should be for the Rangers fans, is what Clement says. They're not letting the standards go. We're rebuilding, but we're still competing, and we're no drafting that, because if we draft it, we're no Rangers. That's the headline for me.
Mm-hmm. Can I come in there, Ox?
Aye.
No, Albert stole my thunder there. I was going to say to the Bears out there, just remember, the left-wing media will be panning that everywhere. Rangers only get 800,000 for 5 players, whatever it is. And just look at the flip side of that coin, what we've saved. That's what we're trying to get across here on this platform before Bears dive in and start slaughtering our own club. The left-wing media are going to put that out there because it looks bad for the club.
It's the Rangers' review. It's their own podcast. Well, I'm not saying what we're saying is 100%, because we've not got the information in front of us. But if you deep dive, there's more to the story in the headline. That's the point you think you're making, Albert, yeah?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. You're 100% right.
On our own podcast, they're all going nuts. When could you have sold Wright? Who was going to sign Scott Wright for money? The boy McCrory hadn't played again for X amount. He was getting loan. His contract was slowly coming to an end. We moved him on as a goodwill gesture. Yeah. And then you've got Lammers, who we've all panned. Everybody said, all right, I know he scored a goal at Old Trafford and he's done all right. I've not heard what he's done in the last few months. I don't follow him, but Cantwell had a fall goals in his age. You had to get him after wage bill. There's reasons for them all, if that makes sense, Georgia.
Oh, the thing is, I kind of I'm trying to get across what Stevie's saying there. I think it's a good bit of business, Ox. folks got to be saying, "Are you crazy? That's a good bit of business." But for me, when you, like you say, when you do a deep dive and you look at it, how much money it were, of course, there's other season, like the position we were in with Hadji and things like that, we'll pull that one back. Oxford, of course, there's an absolute fortune, and that money could bring us in a player in January. So it's all right to look at the headline, like you say, and say 800 grand for 4 players, and other teams are getting that for 1 player and half a player and things like that. But when you actually look at it deep, have a right good look at it, and look at the money we have saved, for me, it's a no-brainer, Rox. It's a no-brainer for me, like.
Okay. Just another thing that was mentioned today, Edmondson House made $500,000. Again, people are looking at, oh, it's not enough. You've got to build up the annual calendar for a new venue, Albert, and then get the annual dues on and have the calendar from. That takes time. Yeah.
It turned over £2 million, mate. That's what it turned over $2 million and made a profit of $500,000. That's what they're saying. And what the tailor was saying is, or the commercial guy was saying is, well, we'll need to build that up. There's no doubt about that. That needs to be built up, and it will get built up. They're confident it'll get built up. It's just a revenue stream. Somebody's saying it'll take you 25 years to pay it half at this rate. Probably will, but it'll not remain like that, mate. The trouble with the Edmondson House is, I was sitting in that Armadillo day at the AGM, and I'm looking about and looking at all the seats and all the people that were there, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that should be held at the Edmondson House, and everybody's saying the same thing. Now, see, when they're building the Edmondson House, how did somebody sit down and say, wait a minute, we've got 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 shareholders here, by the way, that want to go to the biggest majority want to go to the AGM. You need to build a facility that's going to accommodate that amount of people. Why do we build a pokey wee thing that doesn't accommodate 1,000 people if you're lucky? If you're really lucky, it's madness, mate. And then we've got Auchenhowie. They've got a big, huge gym in Auchenhowie that can accommodate all these people. So we turn that into an AGM meeting place. No, I mean, I don't understand what's going on. It's just, to me, it's stupid. It's just stupid. But we're paying money out to these places we don't need.
Edmondson House would have been ideal, mate. Or you could have overspilled it into the Blue Sky Lounge for them who wanted to, and put it on in TVs for the shareholders, for them who wanted to fill that up the day at the AGM and turn that into a day out. And it'd be better for the club if people were there, because people were at the AGM. They'd have been spending money in the shop. They might have had their coffee. They might have went to the Blue Sky Lounge. You could have opened up the other lounges and people having dinners, because that's what they do, because they're at the club. It's a day lost. But I'll ask you this question, Albert. If you were only building it for that capacity for the AGM for 1 day a year, it wouldn't have made sense, would it?
No, but you should be looking to have events that hold that attract
and
that
also
amount of
you
people.
get match days as well. Yeah, I get that. All right.
Exactly.
All right. So we should extend it, make it bigger. Is that what you're saying? If we can.
It should have been built bigger the first time round. That's the point I'm really making, mate.
Okay.
It's short-sightedness.
Stevie?
They should have built my dream, a big hotel, mind I told you. Anyway, I know it's too much money, but anyway, listen, for me, they shouldn't be going anywhere else. They should be keeping things in-house and saving money. They talk about things are tight. Much would it have cost for that place a day? Albert, would you think it would have cost Rangers to hold that, hire that place a day? And they
50
could have
grand at least.
selling
50
their
grand,
own.
100 grand.
Well, they could have been in their own place a day, selling their own merchandise, their own drink, their own food, and everything else that goes with it. And the show
was the complaint, as Albert said, Stevie, when they had it there last year, it was the big enough, yeah?
It's a boo-boo. Because they don't come and ask fans. They've got they ask the wrong people about the wrong stuff. We've got people that know nothing about football. We've got people that know nothing about politics, and we're getting walked to the top. There should be people in these roles making sure our clubs looked after 110%. As soon as somebody says something on media about our club that's untrue, they should be hammered all the time. Anybody saying anything about the fan base, they should be hammered. And that goes for building stuff and everything else. They should ask the proper people, ask the fans their opinion. What do you think of this? Is it going to be right? They don't do it, and then this is the kind of stuff that happens.
Aye, well, maybe there's a criticism of due there. I take your point on board about the 3,000 capacity. I mean, obviously that would work for match days all there. Yeah,
Mhm.
and obviously work for the AGM. And on with dividers, you could run more events, not necessarily bigger events. Having two events going on at once, yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah. With a bit
Yeah.
of planning. Yeah. All right, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one, mate, yeah.
Oh, there's other things you could do with it, mate. There should be
Oh.
music events that attract with the right bands or whatever.
Aye, but
know what I
to
mean?
get music events, mate, most concerts and most schedules are maybe done up to 18 months in advance. You've got to start building up that slowly, get more events, annual events, monthly events. So your calendar filled. That did take a bit of time, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You could set football tournaments in it as well, mate. The 5-a-sides football tournament. There's all sorts of things you can do if it's big enough. Mate, you also can reduce it by partitions as well to bring into a smaller event if you want a more discreet sort of event. You know what I mean? It's just the trouble is it's set the way it's set and it's too small for making the sort of money and profits that you're looking for it to make. You know what I mean?
I was actually surprised at that number, mate. I didn't think it was going to be as much as that, if I'll be honest.
Which is what? To
The
build it?
$500,000 profit. Yeah.
Aye, the profit. Aye. I know. I thought it was a loss. I thought it was going to be a loss, to be honest with you, mate.
Mhm.
But it's no. It's a profit. Also, just to touch on, Alistair Johnson got asked a question. Well, the board members that never spoke get asked questions. And Alistair Johnson came in and started talking. I've never heard a trumpet talk so much crap in all my life, by the way. He's sitting there waffling away. He's like that Joe Biden. He's waffling away, and I'm going, this is the guy next to me. I said, have you any idea what that clown's talking about? And he's like, not a clue.
According to the media, I'm paraphrasing here. According to the media, he was talking about there might be links with other teams that other teams have done, mate. The devil's the detail. We'll see what happens going forward, yeah?
Aye. You're listening to that and you're saying, aye, so what have you done about this personally? He's on about, I felt he was just criticising everything himself and trying to distance himself out any of the balls ups, you know what I mean? And he was on about, if he stayed 90 miles further down the motorway, where TV deal would be no different. He sort of just woke up to fight. It seems he just woke up and realised that, that Premiership were getting a lot more money in us. It's just nonsense. It was just dribble, mate. It was just dribbling on about something. I just totally baffled me anyway. But anyway, I don't like him because I really don't like him because every time I see him, there's bad news always follows. I don't know if any of you have noticed it, but he's also too friendly with that trumpet that owns Nons FC across the city. Too close to him, mate. Too close.
Right, anything else you picked up the day when you were there?
What are you trying to get me to say?
I'm not trying to get you to say nothing, mate. You were there, weren't you? Yeah.
No, it was everybody thought it was going to be a big bun fight and big shouting and bawling.
Never is.
No, it was very respectful, mate. Some good points. The very first guy to ask the question asked 5 questions. And you're sitting saying, this is going to take too long. But one thing, a criticism I did have, Southside wasn't happy with either, is they shut down the mics too quick, mate. There was queues of people waiting to ask questions, and after about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, they said, we're only 2 more questions in and that will be it. But there was still loads and loads of people wanting to ask questions. I think that was bad. There wasn't a hell of a lot of the directors showed up. And it's been brought up that no apologies was given for the people that didn't manage to make it. So I don't know what happened there. So maybe somebody else will answer that question. I don't know.
Right,
but it was not much.
What was the answer to the question about the project for the Copland Road, mate?
Well, it was. They'd done everything right up to a certain point. The guy was asking us who made the decisions and. Did we learn any lessons and all this nonsense, or whether with a professional group involved and all that? And the director, it was the boy Taylor again, that turned and says, look, it was a professional people involved in this, and that we ordered the steel when we get told to order the steel. As far as they were concerned, everything was going hunky dory, but it was too ambitious on the time scale. That's the thing they've learned the most. Too ambitious. It wasn't really. It was, looking in hindsight, it wasn't realistic to actually complete the work in time. So that the delay caused that, obviously. But even if it wasn't a delay, I think they'd have really struggled to do it. So they've learnt that lesson, and it was done with the right intentions. They emphasised that bit as well, and we can't lose sight of that. Let's be honest about it. But see for that, on a personal note, for me, it's done. It's move on. It'll not make any difference now. Finding more detail out of it. It's done. It's finished. We've moved on. It's all open and it's running well, and everybody's happy with it. So
I've not had any bad feedback for the disabled section, mate. Yeah, no, for the actual disabled section. Yeah,
that's good. I'm happy. That means they're happy.
Aye.
But it's nothing. It's my first AGM, to be honest with you, mate. I didn't find it that interesting, to be perfectly honest with you. They're not telling you nothing that you didn't already know, and they're asking questions that it's important to the person that's asking the questions. I suppose other people, some of the questions I wasn't interested in personally, but I want to hear Murphy Clement, but the guy, he did speak where he wasn't asked to speak, but he jumped in and spoke a couple of times, which I was quite happy with. He's no hiding or anything like that. He's taking full responsibility of what's happening. So aye, fine. Bob, he spoke well as well about the financial side of it and how he's going to get involved with it. And they're doing a full review of the whole system, the academy, everything. They're doing a full review of it. But I think you're going to see big changes. Maybe
there needs to be some casualties, mate, because it's not working, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, I think they're waiting for the new CEO to come in, and they reckon, I think John Gilligan was hinting to it, they reckon that he's going to be savage here, mate. He is just going to tell them what is what here, and what they've been doing wrong and how they've been doing it wrong. And you can't say we haven't been doing it right, because there's not much went right for us on and off the park. So I think the new CEO is going to be a bit savage here, and I can't say I blame him. I really can't say I blame him, mate, because there's very little on that side of it to survive, as far as I'm concerned, because the decision making, as we all see, mate, has not been good. It's definitely not been good.
And are we getting value for money, mate? We're paying a lot of wages, and are we getting value for money? Players,
again,
coaches, academy managers, academy director, football director, whatever the title was. Yeah, are we getting value for money for all these people? Then all the coaches. There was something happened last night. And Nico Raskin is done, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it happened or it panned out. And they had blood, and it obviously there's blood, right? So what would you do with modern football rules? Would you know of a jersey ready for Nico Raskin also? No, he might get carried off and the jersey might never be used. What are the people we've got on the bench? And it panned away from him, but it looks as if they had to have a jersey. And when you come off the park, there was the man there waiting for him. I know. Yeah, you just wonder.
I know. If people not paying attention, mate, people not paying attention to their job, and investing into what's happening on the park, mate. They're just there and going through the motions. They may as well sit up beside me for all the influence there on the game, but they have got a responsibility to notice these things, to keep their eye on it. I totally agree with you, mate. And players not ready to go in the park. I just don't get it. Where's my strap? Oh, where's my shin gears? Did you see my shin gear? Oh, this nonsense you're watching players trying to get ready. I'm going, it's totally unprofessional. I don't get it at all. I think it happened for the Premiership. Somebody done it and they all copy. You know, football players, they all copy each other. But I wouldn't. I remember the last time when Clement tried to get Zigerman or somebody ready, one of the games, not that long ago, and they were struggling to get him ready to get him on the park. And Clement, you could see it. He was going crazy, mate. He was and I'm saying he's not going to allow this to happen ever again, because I think it's.
People would say it's a small thing, but annoyed me. No, I don't know if Raskin did change his talk because the camera panned away. It didn't look as if there was somebody standing there with a spare one for him when he came off.
He did change it eventually, mate. But you're right. There wasn't one sitting ready waiting for him.
Aye. Just small
In fact, the
things.
boy,
Stevie.
that boy who got injured, Williams, supposed to get injured. He could actually get back on the park quicker than Raskin got on the park. Put it that way.
He ended up in the hospital with that boy.
Allegedly.
I think he did, mate. I think he did. Anyway, Stevie, we've reached that time of the evening. It's been an interesting night. Obviously, George joined it. Good to hear from Georgia.
Magic, man. George is a long time listener. Many years, George.
He's gone, mate. He's gone. You need to learn how to work this show. Yeah, I know you're new to it, but you need to work it.
Aye, long time listener, George. Good blue nose. See him all the time. Bump into him all the time at the games.
He's hard to miss, isn't he? He's hard to miss.
How did you feel, Stevie, going for Dream Team Wednesday to Nightmare Thursday?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. The only thing I've got we used to is a bus pass. Brilliant. And listen, good being on by All Bear. Thanks a lot again. The brilliant wee platform. And All Bear, no doubt I'll be seeing you in Mr. S side over the weekend, okay?
Yep. No bother, pal.
Come up for a cup of tea.
Oh, tea.
Yes. Last word for your good self, All Bear.
Good to go with Stevie yourself, mate. Enjoyed that because I was feeling a bit tired tonight. I don't feel tired now. You've reinvigorated me, mate.
Time for a new list, All Bear. Time for a new list.
Well, Mrs. Allbear's looking at Monopoly, the Monopoly board, so I'll have a wee game of Monopoly with Mrs. Allbear now.
What's your strategy? What's your strategy?
Get straight
Buy
to
buy everything, mate. Dear Rangers, buy everything.
Aye, obviously it's been good. Yeah, interesting. And obviously we're all laughing and giggling a wee bit. It's amazing what one decent result does, isn't it? It's mental. Well, no, really. 2 out of 3 decent results because the least result was decent as well, All Bear.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. Two, and played well that night. Played well last night. Definitely, mate. You've got to enjoy these moments. No, I mean, if you don't enjoy them, that was not worth watching then, is it? Because you get plenty of rotten moments.
I agree. Listen, thanks to Stevie and All Bear for doing the show. Big George for joining us. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.